What does that mean to you, Black History Month?
It means that that's racism because they don't celebrate White History Month. We don't have it. I'm part Italian. I don't have Italian History Month. So what I think it's doing is perpetuating what this divide is in our nation, quite honestly, because I don't feel like that should be highlighted. I don't think that they should be pushing their agenda on myself because I'm a straight male, I have a wife, and I have children. I don't think that I should have to be bombarded and brainwashed through media, through those months or Pride, Black History. I don't think that's something that should be, dictated to me.
Is it a learning opportunity?
Not at all, because when I was in school, we learned, certain Black leaders, things like that. I don't need to hear it every single year for a whole month.
We claim that immigrants and poor Black families are living off the system. They're on welfare. They're mooching. But here is the truth. The majority of people on public assistance in the United States of America are white, and most of them have jobs. They just don't make enough money to survive without a little bit more because wages are low, rent is high, a lot of jobs don't come with benefits anymore. You can't have a job without a cell phone. You can't even find a job without the internet. But it's not poor people who are eating up the most dollars in public assistance. Nope, it's the middle class. It's people who can take mortgage deductions and, of course, corporations cashing in on subsidies. But nobody calls that a handout. SNAP, Medicaid, housing assistance, those aren't loopholes to help billionaires save some more money and line their pockets so that they can get more yachts or whatever they do with it. They're lifelines for millions of people. And here's the kicker. Those programs keep all of us safer and more stable. If you're mad that someone's getting help, maybe just look at why they need it, not just who they are. Think about this. A friend of mine said he grew up in a third world country, and he said that in those countries, petty theft and, pickpocketing and crimes like that are common because people have to do that to get enough money to buy food and to pay for a place to stay. That's going to happen in our country if we don't get curious about where the waste in our government really exists.
Wherever you look, if you see conflict, people diligently slitting each other's throats, whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's in Africa, it's because of diversity. Diversity of ethnicity, of language, of religion, but primarily of race.
So you want to live in a white-only country?
Not necessarily white-only, but a country that is clearly based on a European model in which whites will basically remain the overwhelming majority in perpetuity.
Okay, how do you achieve that?
Well, that's an excellent question. Donald Trump has got some first good steps in mind. He wants to make sure no more illegal immigrants come into the country, and he wants to make sure that all illegal immigrants here go back. He wants to end birthright citizenship. He wants to put at least a temporary ban on Muslim immigration.
What happens with Asians? What happens with African Americans? What happens with Latinos?
What happens to my people?
You presented me with a very limited view of the United States.
You're saying the United States is a place anybody can come and turn it into anything you want, and the people who built this country and established its institutions, if they glimmer away, so what? You are promoting a process that will reduce my people to a minority. You want more power for Latinos. That comes at the expense of my people's power.
We're 17% of the population,
Right.
and we only have 3 senators. So therefore, we don't have the political representation that we deserve.
And you want more and more and more.
Of course, because we only
How
have 3
much?
senators.
How much political?
At this point, 14 senators.
And 50 years from now, how many would you like?
Let's talk about 50 years from now. In 2044,
Yes.
white non-Hispanics will become a minority. Is that what you're afraid of?
Mr. Ramos, it's fantastic for you, for my people to lose power and become a minority. That's fantastic for you. How does it feel for
Because
me?
it is our country, Mr.
Our
Taylor.
country, our
It is our country. Don't you think we both have the same rights in this country?
I think that despite this nonsense in the Declaration about anybody being anyone,
Excuse
the
me,
white
you
people,
don't
the white
think
people...
we are all created equal?
No. What you want to do is change this country into an entire nation in which white people will become refugees in their own land
So you don't-
if your vision comes through.
You don't want to
True.
live alongside Mexicans.
Now, why is it wrong for me not to want my neighborhood to change?
You'll
If
be-
my neighborhood is European, if my neighborhood they don't keep chickens in the backyard that crow at 3 in the morning.
What are you
they
talking
don't,
about?
I'm
That's a
talking
complete
about
stereotype.
Mexicans.
That's a complete stereotype.
Yes, and stereotypes are all true.
It's
aren't
a
they?
racist stereotype, what you're saying.
Oh, racist! Give me a break.
What are you going to do with the thousands of Muslims,
We certainly
American
don't.
citizens, who are serving in the military?
I'm sure that we just couldn't possibly survive with all those Muslim Navy Rangers. Yes, I'm sure that's true.
That is not right.
No, I'm talking
You
about
cannot make
Muslim,
fun of people who are saving our lives.
They want special holidays and special food in
So if
school
you don't like their
restaurants,
religion, you don't have to join them. That's fine.
No,
but,
they are-
But,
wait,
but
I'm
also,
not-
but you can't discriminate against them simply
Of
because
course.
you.
Of course, anyone should have the right to discriminate against anyone he wishes. And the point is,
But not by
why-
the law, Mr. Taylor. You can't do that.
I think the law is absolutely incorrect.
Do you feel that whites are superior? They're more
I think,
intelligent than blacks?
I think, on average, whites are more intelligent than blacks, and North Asians are more intelligent than whites.
How can you
All
say
of this
that?
How can you think otherwise?
Mr. Taylor,
Why
what are you...
evidence would you have to think that a pygmy is, on average, is just as intelligent as a Dane? Why would you think that? The entire record of history is completely consistent with the assumption that black Africans are less intelligent on average than Asians or Caucasians.
That's absurd. That's repugnant and
Wait,
absurd.
Repugnant to you?
Yes, of course.
Why would you even entertain the possibility that on average a pygmy is as intelligent as a Japanese?
The comparison that you are trying to make, it is simply impossible because of historical circumstances.
Working people in this country are sent to kill poor and working people in another country to make the rich richer. And without racism, soldiers would realize that they have more in common with the Iraqi people than they do with the billionaires who send us to war. That our real enemies are not in some distant land. They're not people whose names we don't know and cultures we don't understand. The enemy is people we know very well and people we can identify. The enemy is a system that wages war when it's profitable. The enemy is the CEOs who lay us off from our jobs when it's profitable. It's the insurance companies who deny us health care when it's profitable. It's the banks who take away our homes when it's profitable. Our enemy is not 5,000 miles away. They are right here at home. And if we organize and fight with our sisters and brothers, we can stop this war, we can stop this government, and we can create a better world.
Okay, well, I'm going to say it. You can bar my live TikTok, but I'm just going to say it. Like I've said it many times before on this platform, okay? The white race is a hate race. Its only purpose is violence and to kill diversity. That's all it is. It's only existed for 500 years, and its sole purpose is control. White culture is a different thing. White culture is us. Irish, Scottish, Italian, Greek, whatever. Yeah, that's our culture. I do believe white people have culture. We have lots and lots of culture. But the moment we call it the white race, we throw our culture away and become a part of a hate race. Now, TikTok, you can flag me and you can stop me from talking about this in every live that you want me to. Bar me for a week. I'll make a video about how the white race is a hate race. And anybody that wants to argue that is a dickhead. Straight up. And if you can't see it and you're going to come here and jump up and down about blah, blah, white people this and white people that, mate, if you want some pride, go back to your culture. Find where you come from. Find pride in your culture. Where are your indigenous roots from, mate? We all got indigenous roots somewhere, right? We all come from somewhere. I am just sick and tired of being fucking, constantly shut up because I want to talk about a topic that you people don't want to talk about, or think that I'm being hateful or spiteful or racist or whatever else you think, because it's not the case. I'm just trying to point out something that would heal the fucking planet. That is, if white people got off their fucking high horse of I'm superior because I have white skin and actually started to embrace their culture, maybe we could get rid of a bit of hate. Yeah, that's all I'm saying to the world. TikTok, you can go fuck yourself.
So I posted about white folks on food stamps, and one thing I kept seeing was that welfare was created for white people. I knew that it was created during the New Deal. So I did some more research because I didn't really know the whole story. And I thank you guys for responding and helping me learn stuff. So during the Great Depression is when we saw the beginning of things like Social Security, unemployment insurance. But here's the kicker. When Franklin Roosevelt built those programs, he had to make deals with Southern Democrats in Congress, the same folks who were big fans of Jim Crow, to get the support of these racist white Southern politicians. The programs were designed to exclude farm workers, domestic workers, jobs held overwhelmingly by Black, Latino, and Indigenous people. So right from the start, Black and brown families were pushed out of benefits so that white people could get them. Then we move forward to the 1960s, and there's this war on poverty. It finally opened up welfare programs more broadly, and that's when food stamps became permanent. Well, permanent, we don't know what Trump's going to do to them, but they lasted a long time. And guess what? The minute more Black and brown families started accessing this help, the politics shifted. Welfare got a new image and a new target. By the 1980s and 90s, with Ronald Reagan and his gang, they pushed the welfare queen myth. That's a racist dog whistle meant to turn public opinion against safety nets by blaming Black women for poverty that white policies created. That's the truth, you guys. So yes, welfare was built for white people, and when others finally got in the door, they tried to burn the house down. If you want to blame the right people, you got to get curious.
I charge all my Section 8 tenants for what I like to call luxury amenities, like ceiling fans. They're not required by Section 8, so I charge $25 per ceiling fan per month. Food disposals, $40 per month. Screen doors or storm doors, $20 per month. Two reasons why I charge for such luxuries. One, revenue per tenant. Let's say your agreed on rent with Section 8 is $1,400 per month, but you really want $1,600 per month. You cannot simply charge that tenant an extra $200. It's against Section 8 guidelines. It'll get you kicked off the program. But there are no rules on renting out these amenities, so it makes it the perfect loophole. Rule number 2, if that amenity is not in the unit during the time of the initial Section 8 inspection, you don't have to fix it if it breaks down the road. So if I put a ceiling fan in there and I don't charge them rent and they break it or it breaks on its own, I'm now replacing that ceiling fan for $70, $80, $90, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but multiply that by 750 properties and it adds up. If you guys want to learn how to get into Section 8, I'm doing a free training. Click the link in the bio. You'll also get trial access to my software.
It gets worse.
This sounds racist. Let me tell you my top 3 favorite races. Coming in at number 1, they comprise over 58% of my Section 8 rental income, the Blacks. The African Americans. I just like them so much that I disproportionately provide safe and affordable housing to them through the Section 8 program. And my second favorite race, the Hispanics. They comprise over 30% of my Section 8 occupancy, and they also comprise a large part of my labor force. They help with landscaping, roofing, and other manual tasks that my portfolio required. And my third favorite race, as Cat Williams was infamously said, the peoples from the mountains of Caucasus, the Caucasians, my whites, comprising the remaining part of my Section 8 portfolio. Honorable mention number 4, Pacific Islanders and Asians comprise less than 2% of my overall income, so they are number 4 in that list. Now guys, as usual, if you want to learn how to buy your first Section 8 rental property in the next 30 days, I'm doing a free training this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Click the link in the bio to enroll. You'll also get a free trial of my software.
All I'm going to ask is how much longer? How much longer are you going to continue to subjugate yourself under the rich so they can continue to get richer off our backs while we barely survive? How much longer? How much longer are you going to allow parasites like that to make money off you? Why? Why? You have got to come to terms with the reality of capitalism, America, and classism. And what I'm doing and what everybody else is doing in this parking lot, it's not a step down. If you think about it very, very clearly, a lot of it is a step up because we refuse to be subjugated into further poverty by the fucking rich. I'll be damned before I let some rich boy who won the birth lottery, and that's the only reason he has the socioeconomical station that he has, to charge me $25 a ceiling fan and then charge me to fix it. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. There's more of us than there are of them, and y'all have got to begin to wake up.
China has begun to target each and every pillar that supports America's global dominance. If Donald Trump had known this would happen, he would never have started the tariff war. Today, China has decided to bring one of America's biggest companies, Boeing, to its knees. Boeing, one of the world's leading aircraft manufacturers, has just lost its biggest customer after the U.S., China. China had placed orders with Boeing, and the planes were ready for delivery. But now China has refused to accept any aircraft from Boeing. Not only that, but China is also pushing forward with its own aircraft manufacturing and has nearly finalized its own planes. Boeing even pressured China to increase purchases, hoping to double its sales before China's own planes entered the market. But China is now turning to European aircraft manufacturers and plans to bankrupt Boeing by pulling away the largest market outside of America. This blow has caused Boeing's stock prices to crash in the market. Boeing CEOs have contacted Trump, worried that their company is on the verge of collapse. Not just China, other countries too, affected by U.S. tariffs, are following suit and canceling orders. Where China moves, the world follows. Now China is reaching out to European rivals, buying aircraft from them. When China orders, the rest of the world sees it as a green signal to do the same. This is a global shift. China is also ending imports of American beef, another billion-dollar blow. Instead, they are turning to Australia, whose beef industry is delighted with the new deal. China didn't wait to negotiate. They simply shifted their orders. China had fully prepared the aircraft deliveries with Boeing, but after being tariffed, they canceled everything. It's a direct message. We will go elsewhere. There are two types of trade deals: individual and state to state. Rare earth elements, for example, are traded state to state. China exports about $600 billion worth of these materials. It's now turning state-level deals into political statements. Soon, China may stop buying iPhones. At first, Trump imposed restrictions on Apple, then lifted them, then reimposed tariffs. Now he wants to lower them again. But the damage is done. China is making strategic moves to become fully independent. Look at Iran. Despite sanctions, they build their own cars, weapons, and systems. China is investing over $450 billion in Iran. Iran has reached a point where even with global sanctions, it thrives with Chinese and Russian support. America asked Iran to transfer its enriched uranium to Russia as part of the nuclear deal. Iran refused, saying, "How can we trust you won't back out tomorrow? We'll keep it here." This shook Trump. He thought Russia would help pressure Iran, but Iran boldly said no. Alliances shift quickly. Yesterday's friend could be tomorrow's enemy. Trump underestimated the global reaction. Europe once opposed China. Now they're doing business with China instead of the U.S. The beef industry is shifting to Australia. China is even talking to Yemen for new product imports. China's goal is to destroy America's corporations one by one, a strategy of death by 1,000 cuts. Next is the microchip industry. China is investing in AI and chip manufacturing, and the day they become fully self-reliant in chip production, American chip companies, worth trillions, will collapse. China will produce chips 70% cheaper with double the quality. China has already completed aircraft prototypes to compete with Boeing. Now they plan to export globally. They're telling Europe, "We're offering you hundreds of billions in business. What more do you want?" The $150 billion China once spent on American imports is now being redirected to other countries. China even aims to increase this to $200 to $300 billion, uplifting economies worldwide and getting allies in the process. Ultimately, China's economic plan is to make its own people richer, increase internal demand, and then buy globally. It has already lifted 900 million people out of poverty. A richer China means a stronger market, and that means more global buying power. In conclusion, China has made a clear decision to cripple America's corporations one by one. Boeing is just the beginning. Once a customer is lost, even removing tariffs won't help. And China knows if they back down now, America won't spare them later. So China is creating new sellers and buyers, expanding trade, and offering huge business to countries ready to work with them. Rare earth elements were the first strike. Boeing is the second. The final collapse? Yet to come.
This is being investigated by the Rochester police with the help of the NAACP. The NAACP and the family came out a few days ago and made a statement on TV saying that they were appreciative of the support that everyone was showing their family, and the NAACP listed some charges for the police to charge this woman with, as, you know, they feel she meets all this criteria easily. Charges are 5th-degree assault, because this charge in their state represents also threatening a child, disorderly conduct, stalking and harassment, bias-motivated assaults, child endangerment, and assault to the 2nd degree. And the Rochester Police of Minnesota also said that they are investigating this woman, and they're investigating this woman calling multiple other families the same word. And they said that their investigation is ongoing against her. I'm excited to see this woman get prosecuted and have all of her money taken away from her, because obviously she committed crimes against small little children because she's a little bubble blowing.
Breaking news. In another loss for civil liberties, Trump's DHS just asked for 20,000 National Guard troops, not for war, but to help ICE raid homes across the U.S. Not the border, the interior. That means neighborhoods, cities, and workplaces. The Pentagon's still reviewing the request, but this is next level. Troops rounding people up in American cities. Critics are calling it dangerous, authoritarian, and a test of just how far Trump will go to turn immigration policy into military action. I'll be watching this story closely as it unfolds, so stick around. And for more details and a full breakdown about this story, subscribe to my free Substack. Link is in the bio.
We have some big news right now. ICE officials have been told to supercharge arrests as part of this mass deportation effort, according to latest reporting by Axios. Stephen Miller, the Deputy White House Chief of Staff, alongside Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, have essentially told ICE officials that they now need to be arresting up to 3,000 individuals per day, more than triple the original goal set earlier this year at about 1,000 people per day. This means that mass deportation efforts are rising, and they're rising fast. ICE officials have no plans on slowing down deportation efforts. They're now doing it at courthouses by dismissing cases, immigration cases against migrants to be able to fast-track removal processes. They're also terminating humanitarian, parole, and other protections that individuals have had in the United States of America, whether fleeing from a foreign country, foreign government, etc. So this is happening, and it's happening now. Spread the word so more people know, and I'll do a full breakdown of this on my Substack, link to my bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for more.
I'm gonna try and make this fucking video, but it is so goddamn hard to make this fucking video because the world just doesn't fucking care. You know, I was listening to Charleston White this morning, and he was fucking preaching. He was preaching, and he made me fucking cry. This shit broke my fucking heart, and now I've done dried up the tears, and I'm fucking pissed off. It's not a black problem. It's not a black community problem. It's not a fucking white problem. It's not a white people, white race, white fucking kingdom, white conquerors, white colonialists. It's not that kind of fucking problem. It's not a Mexican problem. It's not an illegal fucking alien problem. The problem is all these motherfuckers wanting to separate us in sub-fucking categories. By religion, by sexuality, by the color of our fucking skin, by our ethnicity, by our fucking culture. This is why this planet is so far fucking behind. And if there are other goddamn people out there, if there are other fucking beings out there in the goddamn universe, I hope they don't have the same goddamn problems that we have fucking here. But then again, if they don't have the same problems that we have here, well, goddamn, that means they've advanced far beyond what the fuck we have. They've advanced to the point of where we're capable of advancing, but we hold our fucking selves back. Yes, they have split us up and divided us. They have started segregation and separation, been going on for fucking years. All these sub-fucking categories of goddamn races. We are all on the same fucking planet. We are all on the third rock from the fucking sun. It's one goddamn solar system. One fucking sun out of fucking billions out there. Yet we can't fucking get along here. We can't fucking get along here. Fuck the black shit. Fuck the white shit. Fuck the brown shit. Fuck all this goddamn race and ethnicity bullshit. We are fucking humans living on the same goddamn ground, the same fucking earth. There is one motherfucking race, and that's the human race. And until y'all fucking see that shit, we cannot advance. We cannot reach our full fucking potential. Imagine how great this goddamn world would be if people put all that bullshit aside and we started working together and fucking building together. We started loving each other, accepting each other, learning from each other, and moving forward, progressing together. Y'all motherfuckers talk about you need to stay with your fucking group. You need to stay with your people. It's 2025. Everybody's so goddamn mixed today. Nobody knows where the fuck they belong. 4 generations of my mother's side of the fucking family. French Canadian, lived in goddamn Canada before moving to fucking New York. When she was 4 years old, she moved to Florida. My granny, my fucking dad's mama, was 4 years old when she migrated from Mexico to America with my great-grandfather. 100% authentic Hispanic. The man that she chose to marry, well, he's German-Polish. So a Mexican woman and a German-Polish man got to fucking together and had a kid. Happened to be my fucking daddy. My mama's family come out of fucking Canada. So yeah, into New York, where there's a bunch of English, French, and all that fucking shit. They happen to meet up in Florida at a fucking bar, shooting pool, throwing darts. I'm a product of that. Hell, by y'all's fucking ideologies, I'm from the wrong side of both goddamn borders. So if I'm supposed to fucking go back, where the fuck do I fucking go? Where do my mixed nieces and nephews go? Where does my friend Treat's daughter go, since she's mixed? Where the fuck do we fucking belong? Y'all motherfuckers need to chill the fuck out with that shit. You need to get that ignorance and that hate and that judgmental bullshit out your fucking head, and you need to realize that this shit's bigger than one goddamn subcategory of a fucking race. This shit's bigger than one fucking ethnicity. If you think people are so much fucking different and it's a race issue, why don't you drive through the goddamn ghetto and then turn around and drive through the fucking trailer park and see if the fucking lives aren't similar, if the shit they go through ain't the fucking same. Color of their skin might be fucking different, but there are so many goddamn similarities that y'all fucking ignore. The problems are beyond fucking race. We are one fucking race. We are the human race. We need to come together, learn from each other, learn to understand each other, live together, and progress together. That's the only goddamn way humanity is gonna fucking survive. That's the only goddamn way humanity is gonna fucking advance. That's the only goddamn way humanity is gonna reach its full fucking potential. But I'm tired of hearing all this fucking race bullshit and everybody wanting to separate and segregate each other so we cannot fucking advance. If you're part of the fucking problem, go fuck yourself.
Black Americans saying that they do not like white people is the same as when women say they do not like men. It is a trust thing. Why would they? Think of all of the fucking times that they have been racially profiled or just treated awful because of the color of their skin. They are allowed to have distrust in things that have hurt them.
The day years old when I found out the U.S. government blocked a $1 billion donation intended for the Black American community. Yes, this is true. $1 billion. Muammar Gaddafi, the leader of Libya at the time in 1996, wanted to donate $1 billion to the Black community of America. And being that Libya was a terrorist organization at the time, of course America said, nah, we good on that. We ain't trying to help them. Sounds about white.
This is a long shot because so many people are told no. And being in the prison system, anyone that says that it's a fair shake, it's not. Because I dealt with young African American males in the prison that I was in that were not treated the same. They were denied programming. They were denied access to certain things. I was not denied that, but we know why I wasn't denied that. And so I think that that is a much bigger picture that we all as a society as a whole need to look at, that we are one. And whether you're Republican, Democrat, or whatever, at the end of the day, when you're in that hospital, you don't care if it's a Democrat treating you or a Republican. Now, some of you may, but I want whoever's going to be the best.
So I found out today, and I haven't heard anything about this other than looking it up on Google, Job Corps is shutting down. So as of next Friday, Job Corps nationwide is no more. So if you have a kid between the ages of 16 and 26 that attend Job Corps, they're out as of next Friday. We are waiting for more information on Monday. I have a child in Job Corps, and I also have a nephew in Job Corps. But this is crazy. There are a lot of kids, adults, that are at Job Corps because they had no place to go. I've heard that they're trying to place people in homes and get them housing or whatever, but there's no guarantee for that. So I'm just letting you know that if you have a child, again, between 16 and 26, who's at Job Corps right now, as of next Friday, they don't have anywhere to be. So check on your kids. And this is just really sad because this means a displacement of thousands, if not tens of thousands of people who went there because they had no place else to go, to learn a trade, to get a skill, to get a job. It's really, really sad right now.
Are you black guys or white guys?
Black guys.
Can you elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated, and I want my children to survive. And I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin. So that's the way for me to, make my legacy continue.
Okay, I like that answer. That's actually a really unique answer.
80 ships just pulled into U.S. ports, empty, prepaid, fully booked, and carrying absolutely nothing. This isn't a glitch. This is a message. And it might be the beginning of the end for America's global dominance. These ships came from China, but it's not just about shipping. It's about power. President Xi has told Asia, the time has come. This is our era. It's time to challenge America, and Asia is listening. India, China, Bangladesh, that's nearly half the planet's population. If they unite, the global balance shifts, and the West falls behind. Luxury brands are in freefall. Those $2,000 bags, they're now selling for $20 in China. Same factories, same designs. Why? Because US orders were cancelled. Now those factories are dumping inventory locally and online. And guess what? The truth is out. Americans are realizing they've been paying thousands for items that cost pennies to make. Videos are going viral. I paid $500 for shoes that cost $2 to make. Now, everyone's jumping to AliExpress, Temu, and Chinese sellers. Direct from factory, no middleman, no markup. China is now rerouting entire containers to Africa, the Middle East, anywhere but the US. Factories are promising 6-hour shipping to new markets. America, stuck with tariffs, empty shelves, and missed deadlines. Every hour, the losses grow. Top US CEOs are flying to Beijing, quietly, desperately, trying to fix what might be unfixable. And China, they're using national pride to spark a domestic buying frenzy. This isn't just about products. It's about power, control, and who runs the world next. This is economic warfare, and we're losing. If Asia shuts us out, America's economy doesn't slow down, it breaks. The question isn't what's next.
Because it was the white man, when they arrived here in the Americas, that slaughtered over 13 million natives. It was the white man that raped their women and daughters. It was the white man that destroyed their culture. It was the white man that took their language. It was the white man that devastated the beauty of what was here prior. And standing on the words of Archbishop Desmond Tutu, when the missionaries came to Africa, they had the Bible and we had the land. They said, let us pray. We closed our eyes, and when we opened them, we had the Bible and the white man had the land. See, it was the white man that went over to Africa and slaughtered millions, enslaved millions, destroyed their culture, their language, and the beauty that was there prior to us. Because see, I recall it was the white man who enslaved our black brothers and sisters once they took them from Africa here to the Americas. And for over 400 years, it's been the white man that has continued to enslave our black brothers and sisters. In fact, when they were prospering like Black Wall Street, it was the invasion of the white man that destroyed that city. It was the invasion of the white man onto the island of Puerto Rico that devastated the people that lived there. It was the white man that stepped foot into the islands and the nations of Haiti that once again devastated and left it to die. Because the reality is this: everywhere the white man has invaded, everywhere the white man has placed his foot, he has left it destroyed.
Like, how are you guys handling this? Because I can't. Like, they are hunting us down like animals. Like, and are you all okay with this? Just because we look this way? Just because of our names? Like, what? I'm so angry. Like, there is so much rage watching those videos of raids in construction sites, like on the street, and by Proud Boys, by white supremacists. They're hunting us down because we look this way, because we speak this way, because we go like. I don't understand how people are still defending this man. Like, I don't get it. Make me understand. Because I cannot wrap my head around you hunting people down because they look the way they look. Like, what?